RBS Business Research Academy welcomes to you in the video lecture number 2. The topic of this video lecture number 2 is title of a research paper from the series of the from submission to publication in the Scopus Journal. Dear friends, the title is a first way which is between you and your reader. So your reader will determine from the quality of the title either I should go through the paper or not. So that's why title is a very important. In this video, we are going to understand what is title, what are the type of the title, and what are those things which we should include in our title, and what are those things which we should avoid in including in our title of our research paper. So now my another video is also available, video lecture number 2. Its image you're looking here. If you find time, you can also go through this video. Now we are moving towards the rest of the lecture. But before this one, my name is Professor Dr. Rahim Bak Sumro, and I'm working as a professor at Shabti University, Pakistan. RBS Business Research Academy is thankful for its known and unknown subscribers. Now the total subscribers are more than 1,000. Thank you very much for your continuous support. Now this is a paper which is very important, developing the doctoral students and researcher understanding of the journal review process. So now the whatever I'm going to present in this video lecture, so now most of things I have taken from this research paper. So that's why this paper is very important, and its link I have left below this video. If you're interested, you can download and you can go through it, because personally it's a wonderful research paper. So in the checklist for the contributing author, this time title of research paper. So here the title of research paper, these are some of the important things which are which you should consider when you are writing the title of your study. So as you know, the very famous proverb, first impression is the last impression. So that's why the title is the first impression of your research paper. So that's why if it is attractive like your personality, if your personality is attractive, the people will be attracted towards you. In the same way, that if the title is attractive, then it will impress the people. So that's why the first impression is last impression. So therefore title should be impressive, which can attract the people. And then what is title? Title is a single line which includes the introduction as well as the summarization of the piece of writing or the topic on which you are writing. So it should be short, it should be crispy, it should be jargon-free. Jargon-free means the technical terms, those which are unfamiliar, should not be given in your research paper. And though the title should be compelling or attractive, which can compel your readers to go further in your paper. It is better to exclude the name of the country or name of any city from your title. And then it's very important, that means before writing the title of your manuscript, you should refer the author's guideline. So here I'm showing. So now here we are on the Emerald research author's guideline, which are being offered by the Emerald publisher. So here, if we talk about the article, it says the article should be concisely worded, title should be provided. A concisely worded title should be provided. So now the concisely means, that means not more than, I think, the 15 words. So now the title should be concise. So if you go through on the, if you go on the Sage journals, Sage journals are also have the same guideline for you. The title should be concise, the same thing, and not more than 10 words. So now the Sage journals, Sage, that means here it restricts you that the title should not be more than 10 words, and the should include the keywords that describe the article's subject matter. So these are some of the guidelines are there whenever you are writing a one. So now there are 4 type of the titles are there. So the first one is a declarative titles. So declarative titles are state the main finding and conclusion, where you are declaring the finding or conclusions of your research paper, like the 3 months weight loss program increases self-esteem in the adolescent girls. Another is a descriptive title. So descriptive title describe the subject of the article but do not reveal the main conclusion, right? The descriptive title, they are revealing the main conclusion, like the findings or conclusions. Now examples are that effect of the family support on patients with dementia, and effect of the natural forest in the tree plantation on economy in the northern areas. So now here the description is there. Another is interrogative questions or interrogative titles, where you are putting at the end of your title an interrogative mark. So these titles indicate the subject of the article in the form of the question, like does the cognitive training program improve the performance of the pattern recognition task? Okay, so now these type of the titles are not being liked by the most of the by the, most of the editors. So do not include, do not make title interrogative. Avoid from this one. If it is necessary, okay. Otherwise, try to avoid from this one. Combinations. So combination means there's a combination of the descriptive and the suggestive title only, which includes the colon, and the condition includes the and, or others one. Because in the combination titles, we are combining the two titles, one from the descriptive, another from the suggestive, and then we are making a one title. Example of this one is from the personal to public colon, the concept of the creative and the writing in higher education. Or other word you can also say from the personal to the public and or like you can say here you are combining the two different titles like the descriptive and suggestive with each other. So now the title is the read most. The title is a this mostly read by the people. So now the first people read the title. The you may open any like you may make some query into the Google and whatever the article are there. So now from their title you will decide either you want to read further or not. So now it means whatever decision you are making the decision on the basis of the title. If the title is attractive, then the decision will be that I want to go further. If your title is not attractive, then you will leave that article over there and then you can browse on another title. And then it's a most they read first. Most of the time, the title is being read most and the first. So that's why this importance of the title. And as I told you, the first impression is the last impression. If the title has a very positive impression on the researcher, definitely the person or any person, the person will prefer to read it. Title summarizes and the main idea. Okay, so a good title contains the fewest possible words. As I showed you in case of the Sage Journal, it does not allow you to have the title more than the 10 words adequately, and which should show the purpose and the content are both. So now it is like the shop front. So now whenever we see any, if we when we see if the front of any shop is attractive, we decide to go inside the shop to buy something from them. The same concept is applicable in case of the research paper. That if the title is attractive, the people will decide to go inside the paper and to go and to read it. So now a few things which you should avoid. So in this one, the first thing is the title is too long. This usually indicate that there are the too many unnecessary words. So title should be specific, should be concise, should not be so much long. On other side, on other there is another extreme. The title is a too short. The too short title is also inadequate. It's not preferred. So title should be within the range like the 10 to 15 words. So now title should not be too short and title should not be the too long. So both are the two big extremes are there. Like avoid language study of the to investigate or in examination of the these are the phrases you should in like the avoid like the we are writing the exploring the impact of this one like these type of the phrases, these are the words you should avoid to aid in your title. Then here some of the short like the examples are there. Like the topic of your research paper is Asian politics. This is too short. I mean, it is not giving any sense. There's a what is inside the research paper. So this may be a good name for any book, but it's not a good title for any research paper. So avoid the short title, avoid the long titles. A good title should provide the focus and the scope of your research study. These two things are very important. So that's why avoid some of these things from whenever you are writing the title. So another one, academic writing, the catchy phrases are not specific language should be avoided. So now, for example, fair and impartial jury, case is case you can. So now these type of the words which are not giving any type of the impression, any kind of the like the conclusion or any good thing to the your people. So that's why it's better to avoid to include these type of the catchy phrases or non-specific language in your title. However, in most cases, you should avoid including the words or phrases that do not help to understand the reader. So now some of the words which are unnecessarily we are adding in our title, which has nothing to do with the explaining the objective from the title. So it's better to avoid these type of the words also. Unlike everywhere in the college level or in the social or the university level, social science research, okay. So now, except the use of direct quotes, so that title do not have the to adhere rigid grammatical or stylistic standard. So it's not always better to follow some rigid grammatical structures are there or stylistic structure. If there is somewhere you have to go against some rigid grammatical rule, then you can go. There is no any hard and fast rule over there. Furthermore, coordinated conjunctions. So now these are from in to ye. These are our coordinating conjunctions. So here, if it is important, then you can also include the yet. Another look at the mutual fund tournaments. So now, if you do not include this one, so now again your sentence is okay. The title is okay, but if you want include this one, okay, and then beginning the title with the inflected from the verb such as those ending the ing. So now if you are converting the verb into the noun by adding the ing, it is also possible. You can also do this one, like the assessing the political landscape, structure, cognition, and power in the organizations. Active writing is a serious and deliberate endeavor. It is true. Now everyone has to accept this one. So that's why avoid to put the humorous heading or titles of your research paper. So clever journalistic style. So avoid all these things. Like sometimes like the journalistic headline, incredible, the amazing are the efforts. So now see the most of the news channels, they are using the breaking news. So now like to attract the attention of the viewers, that these are the journalistic headlines. So incredible, amazing. So now here we are not going to write down anything. So please do not include these type of words in your title, because accurate writing is a serious and a deliberate endeavor. So do not keep these type of things just to trigger just to trigger the attention of the people. Do not include this one, or even it is better to avoid how, what, when, and why to pursue the people to go through your like the research paper. So it's better to avoid, even though if you're using some of the humorous titles or some of these titles, amazing, incredible, or journalistic headlines. So now those may be counterproductive for your research paper. A reader does not need the clever, humorous title to catch their attentions. So now reader does not, because the reader is a very serious reader. He's a objective guy. He is a certain object to find out any research title which is related with his or her research paper or the research, like the interest. So now you cannot attract any serious researcher like the putting the like the humorous type of titles or journalistic titles over there. So now merely detract from the seriousness. So now humorous titles may detract the people from the seriousness of your article, and then authority of the research. So now authority of the means people will think, okay, what if this researcher is there? So now from because of the like the humorous titles are out there. Furthermore, here the effect of having Christmas dinner with the in-laws in the court menu composition. Now, what it gives to you. So now by going through this art title, so now the means you may think about the authority of the research paper, about the writer of this research paper, or how much the paper is serious. So now that really, so from this type of the heading, like especially the humorous, so please avoid these type of humorous titles, and then indicate the accurately. So titles should indicate accurately the subject and scope of the study, and abbreviation acronyms do not use unless they are commonly known, like the service quality model. That's a very known by the people. If the something is known, you can include that one. Use the words that create positive impression, stimulate the reader's interest. So use those words. And current nominal culture in the from the field of the study, try to use those words, those abbreviations are technical which are in use nowadays. And they means identify the key variable, like the dependent or independent in your title. The people from your title, the people should know that this is the dependent and this is the independent variable, and the title should be well organized, and then the suggest relationship between the variable which support the major hypothesis. And another thing is that it should not be more than 15, not less than the 5. That means it should not be too short. That means even the words are less than 5, and two should not be too long that the words are more than 15. So now avoid from these type of things. And that manuscript that does not include the redundant phrases such as study of and analysis are exploring, like these type of words should not be there. Takes the form of the questionnaire or declarative statement. So avoid these two, declarative statement and the question. If you are putting the declarative statement, then no need to go further, because already the conclusion you have stated or you have mentioned in your title of this one. So it is better not to make the declarative your title of your research paper, or should not be the interrogative type of the title of your research paper. If you choose the to quote the title source of the course, then you should also put the asterisk and explain. Now, for example, any abbreviation is there which is not in use, which is not in commonly known by the people. It's better if you're even using over there, then put the asterisk over there. Or if you're using any proverb, any quotation of anyone, and then it is better to put the like the static mark over there. In the footnote, you should explain, or you should provide the quotation, you should provide the source of that quotation, and the people should know that it's not your property. And do use the capitalization. They will say every letter of the first word should be capital, and then the all noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverbs, those should also be started with the capital word. In the state, except the end or the seventh. If you are including these type of the words, then those may not be may not be started with the capital letter, but other those should be started with the capital letter. And try rarely we use the explanation mark at the end of the title. So here we have the two end of the title, though now this title is too long. For example, it starts with the novel study of usefulness of the NS1 anti-gene detection. The first thing is a novel. So now this novel word, if you do not include, there is no any problem. So thus you have put the novel to attract the reader. So earlier I told you the reader is a very serious and he is very object oriented, that means objective over there. He only go through those titles which are related with his or her research. So now you cannot fascinate or attract the people by putting the novel or such type of the words in your title. Another one is NS1. So now most of the people do not know NS1. What is NS1? So this may be the acronym, or this may be the this is also an abbreviation. So most of the people do not know. So it is better to avoid to include these type of the abbreviation in the title of your research paper. Then antigen is also a technical word. So most of the people may not know about this one. And then test the diagnosis of the dengue fever in the children, analysis of the clinical features and comparison with the ELISA. Now it's another one. We do not know about the ELISA. What is this? It's an acronym. We do not know ELISA. So it is better not to include the ELISA or any acronym, like here. This is the abbreviation. So do not include these abbreviations or acronyms in your title until these are not very much necessary to test in the viral culture of and with the clinical flow of the 100 patients of the dengue fever at the XYZ hospital Delhi. So it means it took a lot of time to read the whole title, and then again much more than that one, the time it required to understand the whole this title of research paper. So now if this is the research title like this one, the people will avoid even to open the link of your research paper. So it is better not to give this type of the very long titles to your research paper. Another one is towards nurturing the entrepreneurial intention of the neglected female worker. Now again is not like this one too short, but again is a this is another title. It's also a very big title. So now this title which we have now, this title you can also write simply NS1 antigen test for the diagnosis of the dengue fever. So now see how many words are there and how many words are here. So now this looks very pretty, it looks very fine, and if this is the title of your research paper, then it will attract more than the last one. Now others are the interpretive intention, the role of personality trait, and then understanding the accelerator from the resource-based perspective, and then the nature of the crowdfunding in the China. So now these are very short titles and very attractive titles are there. But the one problem is in the last title, the China. So now when you are reading the China, it means now the in your mind automatically the scope or generalization of this title will be narrowed down in your mind automatically, because this study only connected with concerned with the China. So now whatever the results are, they will think those results are only connected with the are only concerned with the China, not in other country. So now if you remove the China, so definitely the generalizability or scope of this research paper will be increased too much. So now, jargon of the language should not be used, okay? And then the most jargon consists of the unfamiliar words now, and then abstract words, non-existing words are acronym and abbreviations. So try to avoid all these type of things which are not in general use. For example, some of the technical or jargons are in insurance, annuities, arbitrates, debentures, and all these. In computing, ASC one frame this, so and then in the photography ASA writing now, and economics costful inflation, managerial cost pricing, Jacob. These are the technical jargons are they please avoid from these type of the words and from the similar type of the words which are not in use or which are very hard for others to understand. Okay, and use acronyms or abbreviations in the title is very bad practice actually. But if, for example, if you know about these are the titles, because these titles are very much known by the people, if you're including these titles, there's no any problem. But those titles which are non-known, so that it is better to avoid from those types of the titles. And now these are the 7 secrets of the writing title. It should be concise, it should be specific, and decide regarding the place of study. Do not include the place of study like the China, like this one. And just do not use the descriptive or neutral title. And whenever you are putting any abbreviation like the, so now put those like those abbreviations which are very known, or explain all those one. And then interrogative declarative statement title should not be given, and the abbreviation, if you are now avoid the abbreviation. So these are some of the guidelines are there. So at that, thank you very much for watching this video till end. So I hope this video has increased your knowledge regarding how to make that how to write a title of this paper. If it is yes, then please you are requested to subscribe my channel, to like my video, and refer this video to your friends. Thank you very much.